YouTube, I'm back with some good news. Anyways, so the trade that we had last week has, what am I saying? Last week, yesterday, was it yesterday? Yeah, it was Thursday. Yeah, the trade that we had on Thursday has hit TP. My PC was kind of slow. I was trying to catch it um, as it smashed the TP. However, yeah, it did its own things. Anyways, long story short, we held this beautiful banger, and yeah, it gave me around $73. This is you. If you're wondering why this is having so much volatility, it's because the NFP news alert has opened, and if I'm not mistaken, uh, it is the first Friday of it is the first Friday of the month. So yeah, we probably had some well technically good news because um it is tanking. I just need to see something. So our NFP results, we had the forecast. The previous in the forecast was 43 and 43, and then for NFP it was 85 on the forecast. Previous was higher than the forecast. Interesting. Okay, today what happened? It came out higher than the forecast was expecting, which means that um, I'm assuming that for the for the for the dollar, that's a good thing, which means gold will tank because if the US is gaining strength, that means the gold is weakening. So I think that's why we having this nice but bearish push to the downside. I was initially looking to target these lows all the way down here because this is the higher time frame daily draw on liquidity. But I didn't want to be too greedy because my setup typically is a 1 to 3. I am only targeting the full range, so I didn't want to be too greedy, guys. But yeah, this was pretty much the setup that I had. Um, I'm not gonna be trading today. I don't really trade on Fridays, and well, I've just hit TP, so there's no reason for me to actually trade. I was trying to open up my MT5 gold funded account so you guys can see. Uh, let's just wait for that to load. Right, so as you can see here, our history, we did hit TP. Um, see, you guys, my PC is so slow. Please forgive me. So yes, this was yesterday's loss. Then we re-entered again, so we made $73 on that. We're still down a whole lot of a whole lot of money, but it's a good thing. It's a good thing. We're slowly gonna grind and get back to where we need to be, and eventually we're gonna request a payout, y'all. My first prop firm payout will come within the year. So let's just see how next week plays out. This was a good trade. Um, to go over what happened, for those of you probably wondering, remember what I said. I said markets pulled back into a fair value gap. So how I trade is I want first markets to show me a break of structure. From the break of structure, I needed to pull back into a fair value gap. From that fair value gap, I went to my 15-minute time frame. On my 15-minute time frame, I waited for a change in the state of delivery. Now, some of you are wondering, how do I define the change in the state of delivery? Well, there's two methods. There's using the previous low that took out the high as a change in the state of delivery, or I could just use the last two bullish candlesticks as a change in the state of delivery. So in this instant, I used this as the change in the state of delivery, but I waited for once it broke and closed below there. Immediately as it broke and closed below there, stops above the high, and yeah, As you can see, beautiful TP. It looks like it's gonna chase these lows. I won't even lie. I mean, with the NFP news out, it has the potential. But yeah, that was pretty much the setup. Thank you all for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you next week, Monday. Peace. All right, guys. We planning on getting into our second entry. Most likely, this will be the last entry. We're just waiting for a close below the change in the state of delivery. Then I guess we'll just do a simple market execution of the setup. So yeah, let's just see how this one will play out. So the reason is we just waited for markets to actually show us a change in the state of delivery. Then from there, we waited for markets to then give us our confirmation. So usually from the retest of the change in the state of delivery, we can have our setup. So that's what we're kind of waiting for right now. Then we're gonna go and target the lows. So this would be primarily a nice 5-hour trade. So yeah, let's just get a simple market execution in. From here, and stops above the highs like this for a nice 3-hour setup. Hold on. Yeah. Let me just show you guys over here. So this is the setup that I took. It was a simple market execution, risking about $19 to make around we're gonna be trying to make around $72 on this trade. So it's not a bad setup. I like the entry. We'll just have to wait and see how markets decide to play out. So like I said, we had a 4-hour fair value gap. Markets swept also liquidity. We don't really need to look at that. What we just need to see is markets pulling back into our fair value gap and then changing in the state of delivery with at least 2 candlesticks. If you guys want another trade idea that I had, it was the previous one over here where I identified markets tapping into that fair value gap on the 4-hour. As you can see, it's literally the exact same setup, guys. Tapped into the 4-hour, went down to the 15-minute. On the 15-minute, we waited for a change in the state of delivery with 2 candlestick push, break below. So this would have been our change in the state of delivery right here. As you can see, from there, we were going to take the shorts on the retest or just simply on the break of that low, stops above the high, TP to these lows. So that's pretty much what we're doing with this setup as well. We're just doing literally the exact same thing. Sweep, change in state, tapped into 4-hour, and yeah, we'll just wait and see how markets decide to play out. Alright, y'all. As you can see, the setup did not play as planned, and well, technically I only have myself to blame because I tried to use the indicator as a confluence, and yeah, I got stopped out. So it is what it is, I guess. That kind of sucks, but I can't really blame anybody but myself. So that's what happened. Coming into this trade now, I do have a fair value gap on the 4-hour right here that I see that markets are tapping into. So my idea is that we have a break of structure on this candlestick, these candlesticks that broke structure. So technically speaking, I just need to clean up my charts because it looks like a mess. I'm not gonna use the indicator. Let's not use this indicator because it kinda did me dirty. So yeah, let's see this. So as we can see how market structure look currently. You see, what's also funny is I didn't get my valid change in this data delivery and the markets failed. So that kind of gives me a bit of like uh, uh, like a confirmation that hey man, just don't don't trust in indicators and all these funny little things. I'm actually gonna delete it. Don't trust in the indicators and stuff. Just follow the normal system that I've set for myself. Because when I follow the normal system, I'll get trades like this and trades like that and trades. Whereas if I try and follow an indicator, I get stopped out. So, anyways, coming into today here, we had to tap into this 4-hour fair value gap, right? What's also happening is that we have a break of structure, as I said, down here, because this was the impulse up. This was the impulse low. So you can see the swing high, swing low. So we have our confirmation of the break of structure. Now we need a fair value gap that's not been mitigated. This fair value gap got mitigated, but this one didn't. So I was like, okay, we can use that as confluence. What's this? You can just delete that. And then now what we need to do is actually trade on the lower time frames. So a nice entry signal for me sometimes when I'm trading is having a CRT formation. But right now, currently, what I'm waiting for is at least a inverse fair value gap showing that we're respecting this fair value gap or a change in the state of delivery. So I'm going to have to wait for one of the confirmations and then take a trade depending on which confirmation presents itself. Currently, right now, you can see it's retesting and respecting that area. If I was to get a change in the state of delivery, technically this high is the break of structure going higher. So where's the lowest point that broke that structure? Well, as you can see, markets pulled back before breaking, so I can use this as my confirmed low, and that would be my change in the state of delivery. So I'm not really keen on having to wait for markets to go all the way down there to get a change in the state. Um, we could however also have a potential double top. So maybe something like this. Markets fail to make a higher high, then break these lows, and then we can have a nice change in the state from there that we can have an entry to then short the markets. So it depends on basically how markets want to react from this level. Um, and then, yeah, so currently we are down to 4,545. So, yeah, I did have a second entry. I entered on here twice because I was very convinced that we were going to sell. And yeah, it's not looking good at all. Okay. Anyways, we're gonna have to wait and just see how markets decide to react from that 4-hour fair value gap. So yeah, I'm gonna keep you guys posted when I get an entry, and then we can hopefully still save this account. I just need one clean setup, guys, one clean entry to save the account, or else I'm gonna blow it, and then I'll have to get a new one, which is something I don't want to do. So yeah, I'll keep you guys posted. What's going on, YouTube? I'm back. We finally have a trade set up. Um, I think I waited for basically almost a week. Yeah, I think I waited almost a week. What's going on here? Not responding. What do you mean? Um, anyways, so yeah, I think I waited over a week because I didn't manage to catch this beautiful setup right here, as you see. That kind of hurt my feelings, and this happened on Monday. I can just run you guys through why I would have taken the setup if uh, I had been available to catch it. So as you can see, daily we don't have necessarily any market structure in terms of fair value gaps that we can use. However, I did identify that all the way from here we had a liquidity grab. Can you see that? So coming into Monday, I was like, okay, we had that liquidity grab. Where can we trade from? And when I look at it, the only fair value gap I see in this bearish leg that actually broke structure, because I saw a break of structure from here. So that was my confirmation that, okay, we're bearish. So then I had a nice pullback and I saw this 4-hour fair value gap right here. So this 4-hour fair value gap, I was like, okay, that's my point of interest. Now I need to go down to my 15 minutes to then identify my change in the state of delivery. So I have an indicator that helps me sometimes identify whether or not market structure is in a change in the state of delivery or whatever. But I sometimes use a either two candlestick pattern where I use these to, at least if it's two candlesticks that have pushed the markets up and then get broken, I use that as a change in the state of delivery, or I can use this low right here as a change in the state of delivery. It typically depends on how aggressive I want it to be. So I would if I was to have taken it from this change in the state of delivery, the more aggressive approach, stops above there, I would have caught that trade. If I was to wait for it to close all the way down here, then I would have had an entry on the retest of the change in the state of delivery right here with my stops all the way back above these highs, and then we were still going to target the lows. So as you can see, it would have still played out and we would have hit TP right about there. So depending on your type of confirmations and what you want to use, you will be able to catch at least both of the setups. However, didn't manage to catch that. So today, well, yesterday, I was waiting for markets to actually give me some sort of break of structure, fair value gap, then I can continue the selling bias that I have. So when I woke up yesterday, I saw that markets swept liquidity, broke structure, and then after the break of structure, it had a pullback, but then it didn't reach my 1-hour fair value gap. So I was like, okay, cool. If it's not reaching the 1-hour fair value gap, I needed a new fair value gap to form for me to continue selling. As you can see, it didn't give any new fair value gap formation, so I wasn't interested in taking trades yesterday, which was Wednesday, the 3rd of June. If I go to my higher time frame as well, on my 4-hour, you will be able to see that I didn't also have a fair value gap. As you can see here, there was no 4-hour fair value gaps that I'm interested in taking. So today, I wake up and I do identify that we had a 4-hour CRT, right, formation. So this 4-hour CRT is also a very strong, powerful confirmation that I could start looking for shorts. We tapped into a 1-hour fair value gap and we formed a 4-hour CRT formation. I go down to my 15-minute. On my 15-minute, I saw that markets literally after tapping into this inversed all these fair value gaps. All of them, it has inversed them. So now it's retesting this fair value gap area on the 15, and I'm anticipating us to be selling all the way to at least these lows and then well, I'm mostly looking to target the previous drawed liquidity on the daily. So that would be my full TP, and it's a 1 to 4 risk to reward ratio, so it's not so bad. I can show you guys that I am in the trade. Hold on, let me just turn on uh my meter trader on gold funded so that you guys can see. But yeah, so that was basically my idea for the setup. It wasn't too complicated. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. I just wait for a break of structure, retest into a fair value gap, and then on the lower time frame, I wait for a change in the state of delivery to show that it's ready to start selling from that area. So yeah, it's pretty much so it's a like a 3-step process, I guess. Yeah. So if I don't have a break of structure during my trading time, so I generally wake up at 8. So at 8 I need to see from 8 o'clock I need to see whether there's a break of structure going lower or going higher. After the break of structure, I want to see markets actually show me the intention. And the way it shows me the intention is with the fair value gap. This is why I was telling you guys that I had a I had a fair value gap on what's this on Wednesday. I had a fair value gap. So that fair value gap is the reason why I was actually looking to. So you see this 1 hour fair value gap here. I was actually looking to trade from that 1 hour fair value gap. It's the only area for my points of interest that gives me a confluence to then start to sell, to just start selling. So on this day, I'm looking to just see where we can sell towards. I'm looking at the structure right now. Can you see how market structure is literally bearish? If you look at this, it's a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Like I can't really get more simple than that. So all I'm doing is trying to trade from a fair value gap. As you can see, the previous fair value gaps here have been tested into, pushed lower, tested into this fair value gap, pushed lower. How come it didn't test into this one? So instead of retesting into this fair value gap, it kept on creating and generating liquidity for people to start getting into the markets, anticipating buys. So as it bought into here, now I'm looking to see, can we now get a sell-off from this point of basically resistance? This is basically my point of resistance, or my point of interest, or whatever you want to call it. So I'm expecting markets to at least give me a $287 risk to, actually it's supposed to be more. Yeah, the low is there. So anyways, yeah, it's supposed to be like $280 basically. And I think I will go at break even. I don't like going to break even on gold because it has a habit of retesting your entry before actually playing out. So I think it's just TP and stop loss. But I'll also make a decision around a 1 to 3. I have I have marked this TP zone here. This is it's a 1 to 3 entry. So I will be marking that and seeing whether markets do um decide to go that low. If not, then I'll just hold it for a nice full TP. I did set an alert here because this was initially my change in the state of delivery. However, let me just refresh this. However, there is an indicator that I use that helps me with that shows me change of structure and all of that stuff. So I just want to show you guys the indicator. I don't know why it hasn't saved on this. I think it's because I haven't like reloaded in a while, because I entered this on my phone. So yeah, let's just see. Okay, so yeah guys, I really need this I really need this trade to play out because we are really, really, really deep in drawdown, and it's just, yeah, it's just not looking good. So we need this trade to at least give us some sort of profits. I think I'm risking like $62 on the setup. So yeah, let's just get into this. Okay, I don't know why it's not showing my indicator. I guess I'll just have to turn it on here. So basically, you go to indicators, then it's the market structure, change of character, break of structure, fractal model for Lux Algo. So you just go, you turn that on, and then you'll have this. So with this, you'll be able to then see the the market structure shifts that markets show itself. So here you can see it's already given you a change of character right here. So it's given me an early change of character. I typically like to use the low as a change of character, but because this gave me a change of character, I was like, you know what? Let me follow the indicator. We did have a break of structure, yes, and then we're pulling back now. It's giving me a change of character. I'm anticipating that this change in character would be my short entry. Was I a bit too early? I guess we could say that, but we'll just have to wait and see. Um, there is a fair value gap I did identify on the 15 up here, so maybe markets can go retest all of that. I have also found out that markets have a habit of retesting into the middle, the 50% off the full range. When it has a lot of fair value gaps, it tends to retest this middle point. So sometimes you'll be in a bit of drawdown until it gets there, and then from there it's ready to shoot. Anything can really happen. I don't really want to think about it too much. I've already entered the trade. I just have to wait to see if it plays out. The TPs and stops have been set. So yeah, I'll keep you guys posted on how the setup and the trade plays out. There's still quite a lot of time. It's London session now. So yeah, we still have quite a lot of time. It's just been an hour after London session. Not many reasons why I shouldn't sell. And I think, is there news Thursday? Yes, there should be news. I think, if I'm not mistaken, yes, there is news at 5. At 2 in the afternoon, there's unemployment claims. Okay, so yeah, there's quite a lot of news. And then Fridays, we don't trade Fridays, so we're not gonna care about that. That you know what that is. If you're a trader, you know what these little bad boys are. These are not the things you wanna be in. But some people trade them. I just don't. So yeah, we'll see how this one plays out, and then yeah, we'll come back. Probably next week. I'll probably have to then get a new setup because I typically want to have one trade a day. I think you guys have noticed that I only have gold on my charts now. I think um, I was looking at too many charts, and it came to my realization that when I was becoming more profitable, or I was making more money, I was mostly focused on one pair and not having so many other pairs influence my decision making, and all of that. So I think I'm just going to stick to what I know best, and I know gold best. So I'm going to be trading just the gold pair, and yeah, we'll see how that goes, guys. So just a quick recap: 1 hour fair value gap, tapped into there. We waited for a change in the state of delivery. We entered early. Yes, we have acknowledged that I have entered early based on the indicator showing us a change of character. However, the confluence still remains. We did have an inverse of all these fair value gaps. So basically, all these fair value gaps did get inversed. You get me? So that's also the reason why I'm entering this trade. So yeah, let's just wait and see. The the setup is still like it's still young. I just want to see something here. Uh, oh yeah, I think I did. Yeah, this one that oh yeah, guys, the 10K account is currently it's I have blown it. Uh, a series of bad decisions were made. Yeah, bad decisions were made, and we have blown that account. So we just stuck with this 5K account, which is, I think it's fine. I was mostly focused on the 5K account because the 5K account is where I will be receiving a payout. The 10K account was just like a freebie for us so that we can at least have a second account. But yeah, so we'll see how the 5K account challenge goes. We are deep in drawdown. We need a Hail Mary. We need a Hail Mary, but I'm also being patient and taking setups that align with my system. So let's see what happens, y'all. I'll see you in the next one. What's up, YouTube? Let's listen. I know. I went ghost. Well, not to say I went ghost on purpose, but like a couple of situations happened, and yeah, I wasn't able to like technically record as much. So yeah, and you know what? Long story short, I I have a problem with my laptop. It's slow. It has issues, and I mean, yeah, there's just nothing I can do. Currently, I need to get a new one. I am working in the process of getting a new one, but I've made myself a challenge to get a new laptop with a funded account. Quick recap: I did blow my two funded accounts that I got in the initial video that you guys will see, and I have two accounts that I have currently with the gold funded. But I am at a very serious situation because my accounts are literally about to blow again. So we have put ourselves in a pretty similar situation to what I was before I left. So this is going to be a journey of how to recover, or how I'm going to try and recover from being in drawdown on a prop firm challenge, getting out of drawdown, getting past phase one, and then initially phase two, and then just start requesting some payouts. So this is a 5K funded account challenge where I'm going to be requesting a payout very soon. So yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know a quick recap on what happened and why I haven't been on YouTube as much. I won't also be having much to post because I do kind of have to wait a bit longer to get setups and stuff. Like today, I generally have no setup that has presented itself for me. So currently, I'm just making this video to just hopefully my PC cooperates with me and I can get this out for you guys. So yeah, I'm just making the video so that you guys can understand that I'm still there. I still have a PROPFIRM challenge. I mean, I did blow the other one, unfortunately, but man, it's a part of the game, I guess. It's a part of the game. I got reckless. Actually, I didn't get reckless. So what happened was I thought I was entering my lot size on my 5K, on my 10K account, but I was actually on my 5K. So that's actually what caused me to be in a very heavy drawdown situation. Because obviously, if I'm risking $100 on a 5K prop firm challenge, and my max daily drawdown is like $200, The time I realized that it was a bit too late, because now I had been in four trades running, and I literally had just breached that drawdown limit. So kind of sucks, because I didn't notice that. I guess this is why people copy trade, and they have a certain way of copy trading. But it's a lesson, I guess, to always be vigilant and check which account you are trading at what lot size. And yeah, so I just had it had to happen, I guess. So currently, right now, I've also, as you guys can see, I've minimized the pairs that I trade. I'm only going to start trading 4 pairs in this market. Why? Because I've seen better results when I trade with the less pairs I trade, the better. Because it also leaves room for me not to have too many trades running on the table, and not and it also clears my mind in terms of how many opportunities I am looking at. So for me now, uh it's also helped me while I was still trading this account. I mean, I know I'm in drawdown, but it has helped me also grow my strategy and make it a bit more simplistic. So throughout this journey, you guys are going to be seeing me and how I do my setups and how I do my strategies. As for now, I'm just kind of giving you guys a quick recap of everything. Today, what sucked was that I had initially had a setup potentially for some buys, but I didn't manage to catch them. By the time I was awake, the markets had already been quite high up, so it just had to play out. And then these other pairs, well, there was genuinely just nothing for me to trade at the moment. I know you guys are seeing previous trade histories. This was me back testing and seeing some setups and all of that. We did have some sorry about that. We did have some setups over here that we did trade on gold. Some winners, some losers, and all of that. You can see here the history that I've made, and then I've lost, then I made, then I lose. So I'm currently trying to get out of this situation where, because I mean, there was a good time, guys. I did have a really good time where I made like over 200 and something dollars. Then I went back in drawdown. Then I made 40, went back. Then so currently we're down bad. We're really down bad. But I'm not too worried about that. I think I will be able to save the account if I just risk accordingly, and I'm being patient. So we'll see how that goes, and um I'll try and make this thing a week long video so you guys can at least get to understand and see how long I take to like do everything, because I won't be able to have as many setups on the charts every single day. So it comes usually, I can get it set up on Monday, and then maybe on Thursday, or like it's just two setups a day. Sometimes you can have a whole trading pair that doesn't even give you a setup. So it would depend on how many setups I see, and if I do manage to make a trade. So yeah, but we'll see you guys on the next one.